Well, here's the situation. Joe's going to be getting rid of his 68 Chrysler 300 today. He has his eyes on a 72 Chrysler Imperial, and he wants to get a hold of that, but he needs to finance it somehow, so he's going to be departing with the 300. So I'm going to try to capture some footage of that. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated.
Hope you enjoy this thing. It's a riot.
So now, real briefly, what did you do to this car since you took ownership of it?
Well, the engine came out, put new freeze plugs in it, cleaned out the coolant passages, washed it all out, put a new water pump in it, new camshaft lifters, valve springs, valve seals, and intake gasket along with valve cover gaskets. Cleaned and painted the engine, rebuilt the alternator, cleaned all the bracketry for the pulleys, painted them, replaced the rear brakes, cleaned the rear drums, painted those, painted the backing plates, put a new axle bearing and axle seals in it. That's pretty much it. Fixed the gas gauge. Tranny's all original, shift's great. Put a bunch of tires on it, especially the back one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cold day. So this thing's probably a little bit on the lean side. Mark, if you watch this video, I got the timing up a little bit on this thing just because of the summertime. So you might want to get a timing light, play around with it, because it is, it will make a difference. Talking about the original paint on the car, there's really no good proof other than really looking at it. We did find originally there's a retainer clip from the factory that fell in the trunk gutter. You can see it's buried in the original factory seam sealer and covered in the original paint. So at least that hasn't been repainted. Everything else looks the part. I've got all the original stuff that I pulled out of the car. Everything's in the car there. The headliner's in the box. The original spare tires in the trunk. Extra tail lights are in there and window cranks like we talked about. Drove it around. The car should be hot. In the summertime when it is hot, shutting it off, it tends to start hard, and you can attest to this, Rick. She starts kind of slow.
Yeah, it's like only like about 30 or 40 turnovers before it finally fires, yeah, but it goes.
First off, there's some clips in the ashtray. Mark, those are for the trim on the passenger door panel. We had to staple it up for my wedding because it was kind of falling off, but those clips retain the trim once you pull the door panel off.